Yeah, what's up? Welcome everybody, what's up? Hey, error 404 not sound. 45 bits donated. Nice way to start our favorite day. It's Friday. I was checking out this streamer Introvert Chess who was rated my stream last week. She was playing in the the lichess team battles. I should go back into that. I was thinking about, ways we can do more interactive stuff with the viewers here. So we used to do the lichess team battles when there was COVID and everything. And I don't have that much time, but I think it's something we should consider. Doing stuff like that more often. And all right, so I got a challenge here from Repunj and Error 404 not sound. Error 404, thank you for the donation. Repunj, 5 plus 5 plus 5 standard. What's that? Repunj is challenging me to black. You want to play black? He's always tricky with the weirdness. Error 404, just the normal challenge. Alright. Oh, you're making me black. No. 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 No, no, no. We're not going to do that, dude. You're forcing me to be black? Are you serious? Why do you challenge me like that? That's not normal. Alright, error 404 not sound. Already my colors are like weird enough without people selecting like a color. He makes me be black. Unbelievable. Why not like ask for takebacks? Alright, error 404 not sound. I'll accept it if you let me be white. Dude, the machine balances it out. That's because you had a lot of... That's because he's nothing but trouble, dude. I don't know what to do with the guy. That's because you had a lot of whites recently, and so they're balancing it out. It's not even a rated game, dude. Alright, error 404 not sound. So, color justice bot, Mr. Coffee. Lay down the law. Mr. Coffee laying down the law Friday morning. Boom, the Kraken. That's right. We got a mix of Krakens, classical and Sicilian for you today. Please don't play bishop d3. Oh my god. Dude, did you watch my stream yesterday? Why does everybody play bishop d3? Okay. This is... We were going over a Uber Driver game. And Uber Driver, of course, played the Philidor with e5, which is a good move, maybe the best move. But c5 is more combative. Combatives. Mr. Coffee. Quiet but deadly. Mr. Coffee is silent but deadly when he's not butt dialing me on Skype. What's up, man? I was afraid you had like a health emergency. What if Mr. Coffee like died? His last... what if his last, I just turned off Skype. I mean, what if really your last call to humanity was like trying to reach me on Skype and you were dying and you needed me to call like an ambulance or something? So what's up now, c4? Why would I do that? Well, anyway, knight g4 is a good move. It has to be. No, you don't have to be sorry about it. It doesn't bother me at all. But I question my own behavior. What if you were? What was it? It was like? What if it was a cry for help? Poor Mr. Coffee, rip. There was this guy in Boston. He was disabled. This is like 25 years ago. Charlie Drafts. He was disabled, and he was in a wheelchair. And like very seriously disabled, and he had like a health He had a health emergency, and they saved him. You know, somebody from like the online chess site called the EMTs, and they saved his life. What if that was the case? Error 404 not sound. That was a quick one. Well, I couldn't imagine why you were calling me if it wasn't like an emergency. It was either a butt dial or an emergency. There's nothing in between. It was a totally polarized call, Mr. Coffee, in poker terms. Right? You either had the nuts or you were bluffing. It's not like you just called me during my stream, you know, to be like, hey, what's up, man? You know? Error 4, see, that's what happens, Error 404, when you don't watch my stream enough and you stop coming by. Get rusty. Alright, Repunch now. Repunch has been timed out in the chat. He's exacting his revenge. Well, it's like, you know, maybe if you're having a heart attack, you can't type in the chat. You don't feel up to it, you know. Clicking the button's a little easier. Just put an ambulance emote in there or something. Then I'll think it's your cat. What if it was your cat, like accidentally stepped on the keyboard and typed in some shit? I don't understand what this dude is doing. Alright, I resign. Oh wait, the game didn't start. Is this some kind of misunderstanding? Am I lagging? I don't understand. Anyway, we'll wait for the next challenge. Funny, you can't abort a game that didn't start. I don't understand. Can I make a move for you? Well, I can abort the game. Alright, I abort. Don't know what his problem is. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, let's do an endgame puzzle. Wait, Error 404, can you challenge me to another game? I'll give you a rematch. But I want you to try this time. Did you go watch the Olympiad in person? I hate big crowds, first of all, but I was going to go. And I got sick. We're going to play rematch, therefore. He's going to try harder this time. I have like COVID or something, but I think, you know, I didn't get tested, but it's like that. But anyway, I'm like a week into it now, and I think I'm coming out the other end. At this point, yeah, I mean, I have like a sinus infection. Alright. What's up? I got my... Alright, knight f3. Yeah. The Godfather defense. The Scotch. There's nothing you can do about the Scotch. Damn. It sucks. Little pepperoni has followed. Don't try this at home. I don't know what happened. Touch me like praise. It's some kind of religious thing. Don't worry. Yeah, I didn't go to see them, but I mean, it's one of those things, like, if you really want to watch, it's better to watch it online. You know what I mean? It's like going to an NFL game and standing in the, you know, in the upper deck or something. You can't even see the field. You have got to take like, it's like taking your binoculars to an NFL game and watching the game. I mean, I'd rather watch, if I want to go to watch the Olympiad, I'd rather watch it online, you know. But if I was going there to like socialize, then okay, fine. And that's what I wanted to do a little bit. But then all of a sudden, like last week, when it was ending, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I wanted to go. And I put it off. And then I'm like sick, you know. I was supposed to meet a friend of mine, but I didn't want to get her sick. So I didn't go meet her. You know, and that was it. So no Olympiad. But, you know, I'll be honest, like, I didn't really like the venue. I've played there before. It's okay. It's not, like, anything exciting. I live really not that far from the Olympiad venue, so it's not like I'm missing something. I'm missing the people. But it's not like I'm going to go hang out with... Oh, the only person I saw was on the street on the way to work last week. I saw Badr Jabava on the street in front of a hotel. And I think I saw one of the Uzbeki players when I went for a walk with my daughter early last week. He's wearing like the Uzbek tracksuit. I'm like, that's a chess player. You can tell they're from like, you know, Uzbekistan, and they're wearing a tracksuit that says Uzbekistan on it. I guarantee that's a chess player. There's no way anybody runs around in an Uzbek tracksuit unless they're a chess player. Yeah, they got the bronze medal. But good on the United States to do pretty well. Alright, bishop d4. I mean, India's just... On paper, they were lower rated than the U.S., but you can't win without the best players you got. And I like Ray Robson, but you got to get the top 5 players in there. Anyway, U.S. did well, and Hungary did okay, but they're just not strong enough. The golden era of Hungarian sport is past. How did that end so quick? Team Carpetbagger. Dude, it's not... That's bullshit, though. You know, Bangtown, California? Because all the teams are carpetbagging now. It's not just the USA. I mean, like, Serbia has 2 Russians and a Croatian, you know. Hungarians have a Russian player. The Russian players are just, like, mixed in everywhere. So, it's really not fair to accuse the U.S. of being like that, because it's so widespread now. I mean, Serbia has 3 out of 4 players who aren't Serbian. I mean, that's how they finished whatever so strongly. I mean, they would do well anyway, but not that well. No, he does it in jest. Well, I mean, it's you know, we've mastered that a long time before these other countries. India is the only team with actually, that's the irony, right? Like, India is the only team with players who are actually from that country. Isn't that funny? It's you know, true nationalism. All right, but doing better this time, but I'm losing my concentration. That's my problem. Being socially isolated, especially now that I'm sick. I haven't gone anywhere in like a week. I want to talk and interact on the stream, but I want to play chess at the same time. Much better attempt here by Error 404 on the second try. preventing queen f4. Norway also has natives. Norway has Magnus Carlsen, which massively pumped interest in chess. That's why they're good. It's like the Anand effect in India. It takes a while for it. You see how long it took? You know, Anand has been a premier chess player for 20 years. It took a long time, but it's not fair to say that. Like, India has a long history of connection to chess, but the really modern popularization of it is attributable to Anand. And so Magnus had the same effect in Norway. But Norway's a smaller country, and is Johann Sebastian really Norwegian? Nobody answered me. Bright Eyes 84. Is this a trick question? Okay, so he's from Norway. Okay. That's weird because, like, I don't know why I thought he was like German or Danish. It's weird. Or maybe Swedish. I did that? Oh my god. Oh, shit! I tricked him again. Poor Arafor. I always, like, do this. Oh no, maybe he has something here. Shit, I tricked myself. I thought I tricked him, but maybe I tricked myself. He has a move. Bright Eyes 84 asks the trick question. Why Rapport played for Hungary? Should I go with the simple answer or the should I take the bait? Bright Eyes did not play, Rapport did not play for the United States because they didn't offer him enough money. But he's willing to play for anybody. He has absolutely no patriotism feeling toward Hungary. Rapport's only consideration is cash. Cash is king. He'll play for Serbia, Romania, whatever you want, you know. He would play for North Korea if they offered him enough money. But he is Hungarian, don't forget. Much like Peter Leko, he married a foreign wife, and he's never been the same since. Isn't that a bit weird? That's weird. You're not following, like, golf or anything like that, right? You don't do a lot of following golf or other sports. Leko was never the same after he got married. Rapport's faring a little better. Hikaru should play for Japan. They're not interested in chess, though. No, Rapport also. Hikaru would play for... he would also play for North Korea, if asked. By Kim Jong-un. He'd probably play for Chechnya, if they offered him a Cybertruck or something. If a Chechen warlord came to Hikaru and offered him a free Cybertruck, would he play for Chechnya? That's the question. Or Elon Musk offered him a free Cybertruck. Money is all that matters to people today, right? It's so refreshing. Era 404 is unbelievably out of form. The thing is, people say Robson was selected as his rating was better. there's a protocol, Fancy Chess, and its name is Rex Sinkfield, and he owns the United States Chess Federation and dictates everything they do. So, money talks, and when billionaires own chess federations, I guess they, get their way. I don't know, man. I don't know the selection criteria for the U.S. Olympic team, but I think you shouldn't assume that it's strictly by rating, There's also like a protocol, like you have to say I want to play, you have to probably inform the chess federation at some point that you're interested in playing. I mean, there's some kind, there's more to it than just rating. Here we go again. Totally distracting comments we're talking about. Yeah, Hans. Everybody hates Hans, though. Like, why? If you don't hate Hans, what's wrong with you? Okay, Repunj Bansal. Are you ready? No more distracting me with gossip, chess gossip. Is the name of my channel Chess Gossip? Error 4 not sound. You're out of practice, man. You look like you forgot how to play chess. What's going on there? You're not focused. See, I got white against Repunj Bansal. This is his big fear. I get a challenge from Cubic Galaxy. He's playing another game at the same time. Oh, Error 4 not sound. Gifted a tier 1 sub to Bright Eyes. Yeah, anyway, Olympiad qualification criteria? Who the fuck knows? I think it's weird that Robson was the alt, but there has to be a protocol, Uber driver, welcome. Bangtown, California, gifting 5 gift subs to community. DJ Me33, by D. Colin, I Love Mercy, Universitate Cluj, Johnny Elite, and Clever. Nice. What happens in Bangtown? What happens in Bangtown stays in Bangtown. Twitch matches, 1 sub for every 5. Oh, we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We added 1 gift sub to Bangtown's gift subs. Yeah. Yeah, that's September. That's cool. There was also a bit, like a 10% bit matching too. Twitch getting generous. Uber driver, you're broke. What happened to GameStop? GameStop or whatever. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uber driver's broke. GameStop, like, crashed or what? You bought, like, Trump World? Oh, no. He lost all his money on GameStop. It will take some time. Oh my god. Meme stocks. Did you buy Dogecoin too? I can't believe that Elon Musk has gone from Dogecoin promoter to far-right Republican network runner. What a clown. Okay, knight on BD2, bishop E6. I'm playing the, Italian game against the player who likes to play the Italian game. But he doesn't play it he doesn't play the slow Joko. He plays the real like C3 D4 Italian game. Your true social stock never panned out. Well, it was a pump and dump, right? Like everything else from the beginning. All right. I just brought it up because, Uber drivers really into that stuff, and I'm not, I'm not an investor. I studied economics and quit after 3 years, switching to something easier so I could graduate from college. So I could play chess because I was playing chess all the time and drinking, You can't drink, play chess, and get a college, diploma at the same time. I mean, I'm not that smart. That's just too much, man. So bishop e6. I'm trying to teach myself how to play the quiet Italian game. I really like it. Oh yeah, no, $10,000 for a Trump watch. He should sell Trump toilets. Those like solid gold Trump toilet. And Trump toilet paper. I get really sad, I feel sorry for Zelensky. He's got to meet, Donald Trump today. I'm sure he'd rather not, but you got to hedge your bets. It's not like Viktor Orban, who doesn't have a plan B, dude. Orban is going to be very sad when Trump loses. It's important. As a chess player, you understand any kind of games. If you play any kind of games, you got to have a plan B. Zelensky has a plan B. Orban has no plan B. Trump has no plan B. Trump's plan B is to just crawl into a cave and die somewhere. He admitted recently that if he loses, he said this, if he loses, so he admitted it's possible to lose, right? That's a sign. Trump admitted that it's possible that he can lose. He's just crawl in a cave and die somewhere. That's a plan B. But it's a good sign. So now I have d4, takes, bishop b4. Well, yeah, you have to give up your bishop. This is interesting. You want to play knight a3 and knight b5. That's it. Focus on the center, Uber driver. Man, he sees everything. Trump has amazing stamina. Unfortunately for Melania. I mean, I disliked the guy in 1982, and he's still around. I mean, you got to admit that's staying power. It's getting so old now, though. Even for Republicans, it's old. Through storm. Good joke. Stormy weather. You see, people are such news, they probably forgot all about that by now. Stormy hasn't been in the news for a while. She probably sold a book. She should do a tour with Monica Lewinsky. People who are relevant only for who they slept with. Okay. Rook takes e4, bishop b5, bishop d3. Although I give her credit for being brave, She was probably, and the same with Monica. I mean, but more so with, she was brave. I mean, okay, bishop b5, She was probably under a lot of threat, you know. Shut the fuck up. But, alright. You deserved the book. Book profits. I'm good here, but it's a question of judgment. Alright, I spent all the time playing the obvious move. Stop distracting me with Stormy Daniels. What happened to this big hurricane in Florida? Like, the news pumped it up, and now I hear nothing. It's like another rain cloud. I mean, they're acting like it's going to be the biggest hurricane in all time. I'm not seeing any. Jimmy Carter turns 100 on October 1st. Current events with Sedgy. That's awesome, though, you know. That's awesome. He's like a freaking zombie. I wonder if he's even, like, mentally, like, there, you know. Does he even know he's turning 100? The last photo I saw of Carter looked like, you know, The Walking Dead. It almost seems criminal to keep him alive at that point. He looks terrible. It's interesting, though, how long you keep people alive with very high-level health care. Presidential health care can keep you alive almost, like, indefinitely. This is a good stand-up. There's some good prospects here for a stand-up routine. Like, you know, what's the difference between Jimmy Carter's healthcare and Trump's Secret Service? I mean, like, there's gotta be something, you know, there's gotta be something there, you know. You could make something out of this. The important thing is that Repunj Bansal is going to flag me. And we've been through this before. It doesn't matter that you have a bad position. No, I'm just too distracted. I gotta focus. It's Friday. I'm so happy. And I'm not as sick as I was. I'm sick and tired. Tired and sick. You remember the Bill Cosby, Mr. Huffy. Jesus. Oh no. Carter's still technically eligible to be president again. That's probably a stand-up. You got that from some stand-up. They were probably telling jokes about that at some point. Oh no. Maybe I should take this. The lesser of the evils. The Carter Center. What? It's 5-second increment. He's trying to flag me. Have you ever watched my stream before? How many times has he been like chat banned? And he's still trying to flag me with 5+5 time control. That's unbelievable. No, I was thinking about this today, Uber driver. I've been teaching chess for 30 years. So it's possible, just theoretically, right? I was thinking that what if my first students, who are like 10 years old in 1994, could be grandparents? How freaky is that to think about? Right? My first kids that I taught chess in the schools in 1994, if they were in like 5th grade then, and they were 10 years old and now they're 40, they could technically be like a grandparent now. So I'm so old that I could have like kids I taught chess in school be grandparents. That's freaking crazy, right? The 40-year-old grandpa wants to sign up. Oh, you remember me? I was your chess student when I was in 5th grade. I look older than you now. I'm trying to hide from this. What are we doing here? You know, he's probably got compensation for the exchange here. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. There's a check on D1. That's irrelevant. See a check? Check, please. Oh, he's got another check. That sucks. I missed it. Damn, I missed the D6 check. Nah. No, it's a draw. You have 2 solid pawns for the exchange. I didn't see the queen d6 check. I can't try to win. You actually had knight g3 check at the end, which you didn't play and you should have. So after literally hundreds of games with me, Ripunj Bansal, dude, you don't... You still can't stop playing for time. You need to stop. You know, you're not going to get better. If you don't care about getting better, then fine. Continue as you are. But you gotta stop. You should stop that, because you're not trying to play the best move, you know. You're thinking a lot, but you're still not trying to play the best move. You know, you're not. You have tons of time. Okay, say believe what you want, but whatever. Alright. I'm not gonna like force feed people like whatever. You don't wanna, you don't wanna. I'm telling you, you gotta treat increment like it's different than sudden death. They're totally different animals. Do not play increment like it's sudden death. You played far more like a sudden death time management there. Why did I play d4? What's wrong with me? 5 plus 5 is like forever. And it's not when I'm getting distracted and talking about Jimmy Carter in the chat, but for chess purposes, it feels like a lot of time. The problem with Ripunj is that you're like trying to use the time as a weapon instead of trying to play your best moves and win on the board. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Stop trying to win on time. Focus on trying to win on the board. Yep, you got the position. You had a good position. You probably you were better, even though you lost the exchange. You have a solid 2 pawns for the exchange, and black's a tiny bit better there. Take the pawn on c4. This is a very strange move order. I'm having trouble focusing again. I have everybody has that feeling fancy chess, but you need it's a question of what you do about it. I have it too, but I'm working on it, you know. You're better on the board, and you're better on time. Focus on the board, you know. If you're lost, and you're better on time, then your only chance is to win on the clock, or force a mistake, you know. If you have nothing else, if you're not winning on the board, then okay, fine. You have no choice but to play for pressure on the clock. But I think when you play too fast, and you're rushing your opponent in their time pressure, you're gonna make mistakes and unforced errors, and that's bad. Because you could simply steadily beat them on the board, and that's what you should try to do. Anyway, beating dead horses is my specialty. Queen a4. What's wrong with Queen a4? Nothing. It's an innovative setup by my opponent. He's playing e6 and g6 early in a Catalan. I mean, how did that happen? Yeah. No, you get people that do this. I mean, it may not be that bad. Funny. It's like a Catalan Grunfeld hybrid. Grunfeld slaw. My son's so funny. He loved coleslaw. But being like, you know, Hungarian, more Hungarian than American, he calls it coleslaw. Can we get some coleslaw? Okay, he was little, but still. Coleslaw. It could be a reference to the Catholic Church. That's all I can come up with. But it's, I think, you know, I love coleslaw. But most of it is English. It's just lost in translation. You know, people whose first language isn't English make up weird names. He's from Africa. No? Or actually, I don't know. That's in Asia. I don't know. Well, Hungarians love cabbage, and they do have cabbage salad. But they're not big on putting sugar on stuff like we are. Fried dough. Hungarians will freak out if you like put powdered sugar on it. They want fried dough has like sour things like sour cream, cheese. So putting sugar, yeah, I mean you would get vinegar in your cabbage salad more likely than cabbage salad with vinegar rather than sugar. Coleslaw, sugar and mayonnaise. Black is dead. They gave up their d5 pawn. This is so fundamental, you know. C takes d5. Well, he's already messed up after queen c8. So, I guess queen a4 is a good move. I wasn't sure what happened if he took here and I took on c6. We might want to check. This is horrible. There goes the dark square bishop. Oh my gosh. Strategically, he's very bad. He must be good at tactics. Because he's making a lot of strategic mistakes, like giving up to d5, giving up his dark square bishop. Black is lost. Black is lost strategically. Is that a cigarette? Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah. Cigarette. He's a religious smoker. He's an evangelical smoker. I tell you, I'm always surprised by the amount of so-called evangelicals in the United States. Yeah, I had so little exposure. They were like a cult already back in the 70s and 80s. I didn't know there was like this big Baptist church in my town, and they even had their own school. And I knew no one who like went there. Like, I lived in this town my whole life. And they were so strange that... This is a mistake, by the way. I mean, it's in the center of your town, and you don't know one person who went to school there. How weird is that? I didn't understand, though, this whole evangelical stuff. How extreme it is. Alright. Rook AD1. We like to touch on offensive, religious comments here. No, nothing offensive intended. We're trying to figure out this guy's name. Touch me like praise. That's weird. I thought it was weird, but of course, like, Fancy Chess had to bring it up in the chat. But he should, I shouldn't give him my dark square bishop, but I had to. I can't afford to lose the pawn on d4. Omar, are you Indian? Usually it's only the Indian players who call me sir. Very, very popular. I have a meme about that. Indians like to say sir. I think it's like colonial. It's like a colonial tradition. Well, I don't know if they like it, but they're used to it. But I don't like it. It's weird. It's like insincere and strange, and it makes me feel old when people call me sir. Svidler to Prague was like, please don't call me sir, I feel awkward. Dude, seriously? Oh my god. That's so typical, right? Yeah, Prague is like trained by his parents to call all older people sir. And that's like a misconception. It's a misconception that everybody in the West calls everybody sir. I mean, that's a very formal, an extremely formal thing to do. In like an English, like, parochial school or something, or like in a very formal like store setting. Man, this guy's showing some skills now. I'm feeling his skills. He's good in bad positions. You can tell. Jeez. Howdy, partner. Mr. Coffee. How you doing, brah? Sir? Am I gonna take this pawn? Is this a good idea? I mean, he's defended pretty well for a guy who had a horrible position. And he's quick. But it's a typical case of, I don't know, this is what I do because I'm a poker player. I'm always like trying to like pinpoint my opponent's weaknesses. I carry over like poker things into chess now. I spend the whole game like trying to like categorize my opponents so I can understand them and actually predict their moves and stuff. Because in poker, you're sitting there watching other people play a lot of the time, and so you got all this downtime that you're not actually playing the hand. It's not the case in chess. In chess, it's like your turn, but it's more like in poker. It's the downtime. Like you've got to do something with your downtime. When I'm not playing, I'm out of the game. I'm watching the other people play. That doesn't happen in chess so much. But I'm doing it. I'm like constantly trying to like find the weaknesses and identify style of my opponent and stuff. What I see is a lot of stuff that wouldn't have been possible a long time ago. People who are like tactically really good, but maybe horrible in some other respects. Very inconsistent, almost unbelievably inconsistent. Not so much mind games we're talking about here, but who's to repunch? Can I queen that? Oh no, he gets behind it. So he's like the master of defense here. Oh no, queen a4. After everything's said and done, I'm up one pawn. Well, I have 6 hanging. That's lucky. Because I saw this. No, he's lost. He's lost. Queen h5, d7, rook e2, queen e2. Queen e2, queen. Could they have perpetual there? Queen h5. No, I could take on f6. But I'm just saying, if here, 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 here. There's no way he has perpetual, right? Right? Somebody? Does this dude, he has perpetual, doesn't he? Oh my god. No. No. King h1, queen e1, king g1. Well, that makes less sense. King g2. What do? I walk over to the queen side? Oh, it's just going to give up the rook and stuff. Okay, this is decisive. He's getting mated. What a weird game, man. Look at that. Sludgy make no mistakes, and it was still really hard to win. Last year I played with Tomic. Do I remember that game? It was this year. It was this year, bro. That's how long this year has been. It's unbelievable. This year. It was like, what, February or something? Yeah, I was like better, or a little better maybe with black and a BOGO. It was a very typical game for me, but time. It's always the time. I was struggling with time. Because it was the terrible format, with only one time control or whatever. Stupid 6 days tournament or whatever. Yeah. It was another good position I spoiled. I did that in a bunch of games. I was okay against Grover. That game, I don't know, I lost a few. Probelski, whatever. I mean, that was ridiculous. I was better against Probelski, whatever his name is. That was ridiculous. I lost to the Ukrainian guy, the GM from Ukraine. He had nothing against me. So I had 4 games. Even against Joe Kagawa, all the games I lost, I was never really I just beat myself every time. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but why do you bring that up? Yeah, but even my last round victory was only because my opponent overpressed in a drawn position. At least I won a game. But yeah, I mean, I lost a few rating points in that tournament. It wasn't that tragic, though. I ended up losing a game in the Hungarian Team Championship to an anti-talent because I didn't sleep enough the night before. That cost me a lot of rating points because the guy I lost to was 2290 or something. I didn't lose too many points in that tournament, the GM tournament. But at least I try to beat one Grandmaster at least every year. Unfortunately, at the World Teams Senior, I didn't beat any GMs. I'm trying to keep a streak alive for a few years. I have to beat at least one GM every year in a classical game, which is hard because I don't play that many tournaments. I think I have a 3-year streak going or something. All right. Anyway. No Uber driver. He's not going to play the hippo. It's called the modern defense. This is Tiger's modern. I like you keep updating your rating on lichess profile. Yeah, well, I'm honest. I'm not a fake scammer like some people. It also makes me angry. It's like a motivation. I also fancy chess. I like the people who are FMs who are 2500 in Blitz, and they claim that their FIDE rating is 2500. Sorry, FIDE Blitz ratings and Rapid don't count. No, yeah, that's lame. I mean, I'm proud of my peak, but I'm not going to put it on my profile like it's my current rating. Ratings are broken. Chess is broken. Sledgy's broken. Too many knights headed for F2 here. Uber driver, you're like an old man. You're misspelling Kraken. The other day I saw Zhigalko's account with 2702 rate. Yeah, well, that guy's strange. I mean, what can we say? He's very strange. I mean, I saw him once live, but there's something very strange about him. I mean, who spends their life playing bullet chess? And yeah. But yeah, whatever. I mean, he's proud of it. I understand that, but it's not true. But again, we diverge. We divest. Can I put my knight on G3? I can put the other knight on G3 now. I divest. Yeah, I don't like people who promote themselves ridiculously. fake ratings, fake titles, WNM, rated, peak, 2600, chess.com, bullet. The other reason why I didn't want to go to the Olympiad was like I was having nightmares about having to see like Susan Polgar live. I think it might cause me to have some kind of nightmares. Like if I saw Susan Polgar in a non-Photoshop setting, I don't know, you know. It's nothing personal. I just hate people who are, you know, horrible, awful, scammers. No. The ugly is just a bonus, Fancy Chess. My problem with Susan Polgar is not that she's ugly or fat or something like that. My problem with Susan Polgar is that she fucked over a friend of mine really badly and also tried to fuck the United States Chess Federation, and she's like spineless, you know, she's a spineless, self-promoting sort of scammer. You know, that's my problem. Like the mother of all scammers. And in her defense, she's a good player. But she hasn't played a game in like 30 years. But anyway, no, she screwed over a personal friend of mine, and she has a track record of very, very bad stuff that a lot of people don't know. You don't say, Uber driver. You don't say. I suggest you do a deep dive on her, Fancy Chess. On like chess forums and stuff. You might find it very interesting. I would suggest it would be well worth your time to do a deep dive on the colorful history of Susan Polgar. A lot of people don't know. Very bad stuff. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. She has half the chess world. If you're a noob, you don't know any better, you know. The other thing is that people tend to lump things into categories. Like, because Susan Polgar is bad, that doesn't mean that all the Polgars are bad. But they are connected. You can't judge them all, you know, at the same time. I mean, Susan is bad. She's really bad. The others, though, can't be directly associated. Like, you can't say Judith is bad because Susan's bad, or Sophia is bad because Susan's bad. Susan's real bad, and her husband was real bad, and they did a lot of bad stuff. And they're not good peeps, but you also can't lump people together. So I don't have any issues with Judith, although she's becoming. The problem is, like, one has an effect on the other, you know. I don't think that Judith was bad, but she's becoming more Susan-like, and that's not good. Do you know the women's Iran team in Olympia gave a 4-0 walkover to Israel? So much politics. Bro, Fancy Chess, you do need to widen your you know, your historical knowledge. I mean, it's well known that those teams do not play each other. That's like the one exception in, like, I think, I'm not even sure they're supposed to be paired with each other. I thought there was like a rule about that. But no, there was an interesting story, a protest. One of the Bangladeshi GMs refused to play against Israel. I thought it was up to the arbiter's consent to even pair Iran and Israel. Maybe they shouldn't have been paired in the first place. There might be an exception for that. But I did note that Inamul Hussain from the Bangladesh team refused to play and forfeited against Israel, and he complained that, why is Israel allowed to play, and I don't like to touch on this too much. Why is Israel allowed to play when Russia and Belarus are banned? But dude, Russia attacked Ukraine, okay? Israel did not attack Gaza. It's a different situation, Hamas attacked Israel first. And you can't compare this. This is not the same, dude. It's not the same. Yes, their reaction is not maybe good, but you can't make a parallel between. It's wrong to make a parallel between Ukraine and Israel and Hamas, because it's not the same situation. Absolutely, I think there's arguments on every side, but still, that's a really lame. That's a really lame. You can't ban Israel. They didn't invade Gaza unprovoked. No, Saji, please do not talk like that. Talk like what? Like telling the truth? What do you mean? Yes, Magnus said Belarus and Russia should be banned from playing. No, not just Magnus. Everybody. They are banned, and they should be banned. It's an unprovoked war on a neighboring country. They invaded a neighboring country. Are you serious? There's no parallel to that. Alright, that's the second time. No, there's no making a parallel to that. I don't think the dude's, right in making that comparison. That's all. What Russia did to Ukraine is not comparable to anything else. You invaded a neighboring country against every convention against the Geneva Convention, everything. It's against every law. That's not the same as what's happening with Israel and Hamas, All right. That's all I'm saying. People don't want to listen, dude. It's like talking to Republicans. I'm not taking sides in Israel. And I don't take sides in that conflict. But I take sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and Russia is wrong, and they should be banned. There's no question. And comparing it to Israel and Gaza and Palestine it's not the same thing. It's totally not the same thing. But if Iran doesn't want to play Israel, that's fine. That's a well-established precedent that those teams don't want to play each other. Clap! Finally, we banned him. Yeah, baby. I saw this article yesterday, Mr. Coffee, about this former reporter in Pennsylvania. He was like a reporter for years for major newspapers in I guess eastern Pennsylvania, somewhere Lehigh Valley. And he was sick of the polarization of Republicans and Democrats. And so in his own neighborhood, not as a reporter, but just for his own, he decided that he was going to go out to his neighbors, because people would have like yard signs in this highly polarized area, like Trump support. He was like gone, and he was trying to talk to his neighbors, and introduce some kind of diplomacy, you know, and try to understand like what is wrong with people. And he went to this one old couple's house. They're like old school Republicans whose yard was like filled with these like Trump signs. And he wanted to go there and interview them and ask them like, well, what is your problem with, you know, how do you, and so it ended up being like it's their 40-year-old landscaper son who put the yard signs up. The 40-year-old landscaper son. And I can tell you from living in a region like that, that's, you know, policy is 40-year-old landscaper sons. The dude like came in the house and he wouldn't talk. He's just yelling at the guy that he's like fake news, and it's just sick, man. It's the 40-year-old landscaper people. He like threatened the guy because he came in his house. His parents invited this guy in the house to have a discussion about politics, and the guy freaked out and started threatening him and stuff, calling him a communist. That well-respected reporter from like the Philadelphia Inquirer, but also a neighbor. You know, he was a neighbor of these people. This guy would not, you know, they don't want to talk. They want to like go to war with their neighbors. It's really insane. But yeah, we should register to vote in Pennsylvania. Sedsteig's got a little bit of the last guy in him. Sedsteig is like the master of defending bad positions too. Whoa. Oh no. But you're not allowed to say like you can't compare the Israel Hamas conflict to Ukraine. What, you're not allowed to talk about it? Like, no, people, it's not the same thing, dude. You're taking over a major country unprovoked, and that's different, dude. Russia needs to be outcast, and Belarus for supporting them, and there's no question. I strongly support this, and I think that anybody with any common sense should agree. What's happening with Israel and Palestine isn't right, but there's fault on both sides of this conflict, and it's a very old one. And it's really sad what's happening. It's scary. Sedsteig, good game. Wings of chess. But you know, people they don't want to talk. They don't want to listen. They have their beliefs they saw on social media, and that's it. Wings of chess. You can't compare the two things. If Inam Hussein doesn't want to play against Israel, fine. That's his choice. You can't like expect to ban Israel from the World Chess Federation, like Russia or something. It's absurd. Maybe you could, you know. You could if they commit war crimes or something like that. I mean, in the future. Christoph. What do I got? Reduce us. Someone challenging you to 5+0. Alright, someone's playing. You're playing another game, bro? Nefedov is here. Alright, leave. I gotta cancel this game first. Oh, come on. You got me on the politics now. You know who did that? You know who started that? Guess, Mr. Coffee. Yeah, you know. I don't know if I meant... Did I mean to ban him? I'm not sure if we're justified in banning him. He is really annoying, though. What do you think? You can't ban Israel, not yet. Well, never say can't. I mean, I think we can ban anyone, or should ban anyone, who's in violation of international law. I mean, maybe you can't ban Israel yet. Should be. Oh, you're being on the other side. All right. Well, there's a lot of political complexity at play, my friend. I don't even pretend to understand all of it. The anti-Semitism is real, and I'm not condoning that. So, and that's tricky because you got a very complex situation there. Whoa, okay, there's a place here called Babka too, that's funny. We have a Babka deli. I was living in a Jewish district in Hungary, but I had to move out. My apartment sucked. It was on the first floor. I was living in a traditionally Jewish district. This is the Bogo Indian, Queens Indian hybrid. But that's, I don't know the history of Babka. That was like the only deli in Budapest. One of the only Western style delis in Budapest. I never went. I wanted to go and try it though. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not taking sides in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. That's too hot a topic for me. And too complex. You need like a degree in like political history to even touch on that subject. All I do is like support Ukraine because Russia is a criminal actor at this point. Well, we've got a lot of flexibility in our pawn chain there, Bangtown. You know, I'm a big hypermodernist. A4 is probably a mistake. I went too far with that pawn. Error 404. Halal put Senator Menendez from New Jersey in a lot of trouble. He's like going to jail for ties to an Egyptian halal food scam. Actually taking bribes from Egypt. And now the New York City mayor is under investigation for bribery and influence peddling with Turkey. Yeah. That's about something connected to Turkish influence. Maybe halal food, maybe it's even related. New York, New Jersey, halal food. Bright Eyes playing well. Bright Eyes has space. More space. Yeah, I like White's game. I didn't play this well. I'm getting distracted by the political crap. And it's Friday. Alaska Rook. Well, I know the game you're talking about. It was like a Steinitz. Lasker played Rook A5, Rook C5. It's a very famous game. It's in 500 Master Games of Chess. I don't remember who that was against. But I'll tell you one thing: it was probably better in his position than it is in mine. That was that very classic variation of the Steinitz. Was it against Tarash? I think. Yeah. These rules for eating only made sense, of course. There's a lot of historical reasoning for that. Dirty animals. Keep stuff separate in the fridge. I mean, they're from the same region, of course. It's like biblical times. But why are we talking about that? All right. I don't understand what New York City mayors are doing with like international influence peddling. That's or well, even senators, but New York City mayors should be doing domestic stuff, not selling influence to foreign countries. I mean, but clearly Adams, they're out to get him. I mean, Trump's right about that. But when someone was saying earlier, like, there was like a meme cartoon about Donald Trump complaining that they're fact-checking. They're fact-checking his lies. Why do they only fact-check me? Because you're the only one who's lying. Why are they investigating Adams? Right, Giuliani. That's kind of ridiculous at this point, though. Giuliani's like disgusting. I've lost friends because of Giuliani. I know some pretty smart people who still consider that Giuliani was a good mayor. I mean, I don't know. So he did the true maneuver now. I don't know, man. But I do think it's overhyped. I guess 9/11 made him look good. But I think it's all, it's about appearances. You act tough. You act tough on TV or whatever. He was probably a corrupt bastard the whole time. I mean, they want to rally around the tough guy in a tough time. But the difference is that, Abrams or whatever his name is, Abrams. The New York City mayor is a Democrat. But corruption knows no boundaries, Menendez from New Jersey is a Democrat too. It's not partisan. Corruption is not partisan, absolutely. It's about money. But I do think they're out to get the New York City mayor, but dude, they're out to get him because he's doing stuff. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs for president. At the rate he's going. It's a witch hunt. It's funny how they're always out to get the people who are blatantly criminal. I wonder why. Donald Trump is he's like a walking landmine of corruption. And he's like sloppy, and not clever and really blatant. And it's just unbelievable that he's gotten as far as he has without getting put in jail already, you know? You gotta give him credit. I mean, it takes some serious skill to be as corrupt as Donald Trump and go, 40 years without going to jail. And his hero is like, his biggest heroes are like Al Capone and Adolf Hitler and Vladimir Putin. So that's a good guy. That's my kind of people, huh? What a good guy. I can't believe we have to watch another presidential election of Donald Trump trying to run for president. All I can say is, like, thank God for Joe Biden for stepping out of the race. Because if Biden didn't step aside, I think it's like game over, man. And I bet all my money on Gavin Newsom, and Newsom refused to run. And I think that Newsom could have done it. I guess he just doesn't want to run for president. And I lost a bunch of money. I know that Newsom is controversial for Californians and stuff, but still, he would have made a good candidate, and he clearly doesn't want to run. So I lost like $500 on prop bet on Gavin Newsom. I made a really long shot prop bet on Newsom running for president. So I lost a bunch of money there. Or Newsom getting the nomination. It was 21-1. It was 21-1 though. I mean, it was a really good, like you're betting on a long shot horse race. It's a long shot, but the odds are better than 21-1, and I got, I had a shot. I got close. I put my money in good, but the result didn't come in. It's like basically I bet on a long shot in a horse race, and my horse came in like second, against all odds, second or third, when he was supposed to finish like 20th or something like that. So, and you just take it. You take the overlay. Exactly. I mean, I got my money in good. It didn't come through. It's plus EV. Absolutely. The problem is my political prop betting bankroll isn't big enough to make those kind of prop bets. So I lost most of my bankroll. But fortunately, I don't do political prop betting on a regular basis. But it's a miracle that Biden did step aside. I think I still got some money left on the Democrat winning the presidential election. So I'll manage to get back some of my money. Well, hopefully. Anyway. Recoup some of the Gavin losses. Do I have a mate here? Oh, yeah. Let's not assume anything. Where's the mate? Check. Have you seen my mate? You're threatening me. But guess what? You don't actually have perpetual, do you? Uber driver always thinking about material. I'm going to take an extra pawn. Yummy. That can't hurt. Loosen him up a little. We're just going to do a little massage. But F7 is hanging. What am I missing here? F7 is hanging. No spoilers. F7 is hanging, but I can just go to H7. But the problem is... Okay. What's the problem? The problem is I'm not winning, you know? That's the problem. But G6 might. G6. Still I have issues. God damn it. Where's the win? His knight's bad. What am I going to do? Take his knight? I'm going to take his knight. This is ridiculous. It's probably perpetual after that. God damn. I think it is. He's going to get a perpetual anyway? No. That's the best I can come up with. I don't see a mate. So we've talked about everything today. Giuliani. Hurricane, whatever it is. New York City mayor investigation. What have we touched on today? It banned a couple people. It's like an ice cube. Today was a good day. Ice Cube song. So I get back a couple $100 of my Gavin Newsom losses if Kamala pulls it off, and the world would be saved for a few more years from Dr. Evil. Still, it's been hard to finish people off. Everybody's a good defender. That's all I got was a knight. All I got was a stupid knight. And I didn't checkmate him or even see how to checkmate him. Mr. Huffy, I had a lesson with you. I didn't mention this. What was it? A couple weeks ago where I heard some landscaper in the background. It reminded me of being at home. I was just thinking about that story. This dude is like a 40-year-old Republican Trump supporter living with his 70-year-old parents who are like old school Ronald Reagan era, totally reasonable people. And the guy's a landscaper. You know what it means if you're a landscaper? It means that you don't have any kind of skills. And so you became a landscaper. I mean, I don't think the guy went to, arboreal school. It means you're like white trash and you scam people's grandmothers and you make your deposits at the bank in cash and you don't pay taxes. I mean, you cash your checks at the bank. You don't pay taxes. I know these guys. Freaking redneck losers. They're prolific. Not to say all landscapers are bad. The top guy's playing another game. Play another game, Schnoofy. There's some good landscapers out there. But most of them are just guys with no job who scam grandmoms out of their hard-earned money, and pollute the environment while drinking beer in the back of their pickup truck and tossing like liquor bottles out the window while they drive by your house. So, bishop f5. These guys playing games while they wait for you. I know. This guy is like weird. I had to ban. Isn't that the guy I banned? Wait, was that the guy I banned? Wasn't that the guy I banned? I think it was the guy I banned. Now for the second time. Now another unban request? That's the second one. Yeah. No tolerance for the second time. I don't have any affiliation in the Israel-Palestine conflict, but I'm entitled to talk about it, you know, like anybody else. So don't tell me. He's like telling me what I can talk about and stuff. One of those guys. What I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not allowed to talk about. Sorry, this isn't Russia. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm not a racist. I'm not an anti-Semite. And I try to objectively talk about stuff. But some people, like, if you don't say what they want you to say, they tell you to shut up. Who was it? Oh yeah. Someone posted what Magnus, perfect example is Magnus. Here's something to talk about. Magnus, right? At the Olympiad. They had a vote about, this is very important, by the way, guys. They had a vote about, you know, whether to continue to keep Russia and Belarus banned. And fucking Dvorkovich is there, you know, riding the fence, former Putin crony, you know, running FIDE. I have my thoughts on this. And, you know, Magnus came out and made a political statement that he supports keeping Russia and Belarus banned. And he was supportive of Kasparov and Ukraine. Very common Western viewpoint, which I support. But I wanted to say, and Mr. Coffee, you might find this interesting, this is like the first time Magnus ever strapped on any balls. Ever. And it took a side on something politically. Right? The first time ever Magnus strapped on his balls and set an example. And then this friend of mine, who's a little out of touch, but not a bad guy, posts it on Facebook, and that's fine. But you see the comments. It's just unbelievable. The first one is this classic, sports players should just stick to, you know, playing their game and shut up about politics. This is a very typical anti-democratic, conservative, Republican. You know, it's like, how dare professional athletes have an opinion? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, that might fly in like Iran. I'm proud of Magnus for actually having some balls, because he never had balls before. I mean, honestly. And how dare these like people give Magnus a hard time, you know? He actually has an opinion about something for the first time ever, and you're criticizing him? Are you serious? He's been like the least vocal, politically speaking, sports icon I've ever seen, you know? I mean, he's literally been a fucking flower. So, it's just sick to see these, like, Russian troll farms cranking out, like, criticisms of Magnus. Give me a break. You know, the dumbest thing is to, like, post it on Facebook and engage in conversation with like, Russian trolls. Or Iranian trolls, or Chinese trolls, or whatever, you know. It's like, yeah, have an argument in a forum about this. I've got a good cement wall for you to bang your head on if you really want to waste your time. That's pointless. I certainly wouldn't bother posting it on Facebook. But anyway, so there it is. But my bringing it up was about the immediate comparison to Israel and Palestine. And then, why is Israel not banned? I don't know. Because it's not the same thing, you know. It's a two-way conflict. Russia is just one country, like, destroying the other, period. Without the other even being able to, like, strike back. That's not okay. Bishop b5 or bishop d3? It's the only thing I'm really a little bit politically, well, that and Donald Trump. I'm really not that political, but I'm also not going to shut up, you know. Shut up, Saj. You can talk about chess. Oh, fuck you. You Russian troll. I keep not remembering who I'm playing here. Schumacher. We talked about this a minute ago. When I play poker, it's very important to me to understand who my opponent is, look for weaknesses, identify their style. A lot of people just play the board. They're like Gligorich or whatever. I play with pieces. Not Gligorich. Yeah, Gligorich, right? It was Gligorich. I play with pieces. So, I really enjoyed the struggle, the human struggle. Schumacher. I wasn't thinking about who I was playing. I was into the position. Nice defense. Rook h6. Damn. Boy, that's unfortunate. Wow. But you get my point, like, criticizing Magnus is so ironic, right? The guy who's literally, like, the lamest, you know, politically opinionated, the least politically opinionated world champion ever, It's not like we're talking about Kasparov. But I mean, his speech at the Olympiad was kind of a shout out to Kasparov. He referenced Kasparov, and of course, that's connected. All right. Damn. Why are you playing so good today? Damn it. I haven't been following Kasparov. I'm not like in love with Kasparov or anything. I mean, but I agree with a lot of his positions, politically speaking. You know, who would have thought that Kasparov would be the good one and Karpov was evil? When I grew up, it felt the opposite. Like somehow Karpov was good and Kasparov was evil. But looks can be deceiving. So what are we doing here? I need that knight back. I don't like that he's so buddy-buddy with Sinkfield. He's just like everybody else. Smell of money in the water, and he'll sign up. But Kasparov's positions don't really gel with Rex Sinkfield. You know, it's hard to be justifying supporting, you know, Sinkfield tournaments and being like anti-Russian sort of liberal in political views. Those things don't really go together. Like you'll just hold your nose and you know. And what does Kasparov do when he goes to a party at Rex's house and Senator Josh Hawley shows up, you know, or something like that? I mean, I just don't get it. He doesn't care, I guess. But did you see that about the inmate who got convicted he was put to death in Missouri? That story is just so unbelievable. The governor of Missouri didn't commute this guy's sentence, even though, like, for decades now, or however long it's been, there's a million things wrong with the prosecution of this guy, and they still wouldn't commute a sentence. They're basically like, all right, that's enough. It's long enough. We've been debating this. Kill him now, you know, even though everybody knows the guy wasn't guilty. They're just like, this is boring and it's taking too much time. It's a really bad scene. You just dropped a knight. That's Missouri, you know. That's Rex Sinkfield and the state of Missouri right there. That's why I won't go to St. Louis. Ever. You want a pawn? I get a pawn. interestingly, in the same day, in Japan, the oldest ever, like, death row inmate was freed at the age of 88. Anybody else see that? I thought he was 88. Imagine you like spent half your life in jail, but now they admit they were wrong, and they're letting him out at 88. Oldest ever, like, falsely accused murderer or whatever in Japan. I don't think he's gonna make it to 88 in Missouri, in good old Missouri. It would take you too much time. Let's just kill him. Let's lynch him anyway. So, yeah. How are we doing on time? Ali Valazadeh. He's obviously from the... Does Iran share a border with Georgia? My geography sucks. Izadeh. That sounds Georgian. Alright. I need better understanding of Middle Eastern, like, geography. Can we analyze this on Wednesday? Oh, man. No. We can't analyze it on Wednesday, because my analysis stream's on Thursday. But I'll tell you what, last week, the Kraken, Bishop F4 versus the Kraken. Now what did I have against this? Oh yeah, so it wasn't a good game, but it was fun. So I think there's B5. I'm not sure about B5 though. But anyway, this is a perfect move order for black if you want an anti-London Kraken mix. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Okay, knight f3, b5. I'm just quick to pull the trigger on the banning, especially with Repunj in the stream. So Azerbaijan is between Georgia and Iran. Azerbaijan. But the Ade is that's maybe typical of both. The ending for his name is an ending that's not as common with Iranian names. It's common with like, okay, maybe Azeri and Georgian names. I know it's not important. I find it interesting. You can even figure out like what region someone's from based on their name. It's pretty cool, I think. We could figure out like what part of Iran he's from based on his name, maybe. My name must come from I suspect my name comes from northern, like Normandy. There's also Armenia. Okay. Not going to get into the Armenia-Azerbaijan thing, Mr. Coffee. Don't get us started. You're going to get us in trouble again. It's my fault. Okay, so now we see the London bishop. There's also c4. I'm just kidding. Here. This is true Kraken. We haven't played a good Kraken in a while. A B5 Kraken. See, this is my I try to be creative, you know, for an old guy. You won't meet a more creative old guy. And I'm mixing all my experience together. I have many games played in the St. George defense. It was like my Blitz repertoire at one point was literally playing tons of St. George's with black. Mr. Coffee, you weren't here last night, right? Uber driver learned his art by watching Sesame Street. It was good we had Schieberspieler, and we had a really good, I liked analysis stream yesterday. I had a very good analysis with Schieberspieler of his game with Bullet Man, Zugalko. Alright, fine, we'll trade queens. Black's a little better. I feel like. Maybe I'm not being objective. I feel like black's better here. Okay, his e5 pawn. This is one of the main things about the Kraken, Uber driver. If you play e5 and play the frickin' Philidor, how is your opponent going to overextend their pawn on e5? Uber driver's like, play the Philidor, man. It's so great. How is he going to overextend his pawn on e5, man? Uber driver. If you put your own pawn on e5, the guy can't overextend his pawn. Duh. I have a new idea against f4 Snetsday. You'll have to stay tuned. Did I show you? I'm going to have to start the Patreon. I'm not going to do Chessable. I don't have enough viewers to make like streaming profitable, so I'm gonna have to start my Patreon and produce my own, you know, independent content there. I think that's what we're gonna do. My group of loyal followers. Oh. Well. Ew, I know, but okay. As much as I dislike Esserman, he's better than a lot of... He's not, you know, he's better than a lot of really bad people, right? You can't, I feel like Swat Adalek, who says everyone's an idiot. I joked with Swat, it's like ridiculous, man. You gotta stop just calling everybody an idiot, because you've taken it too far, and you know, if everyone's an idiot, then how do I measure that, you know? There are like levels of idiots. You're like, Swat, is X an idiot? He's an idiot. How about this guy? He's an idiot. How about this guy? He's an idiot too. How about this guy? He's an idiot. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't help me, you know? I mean, if everybody's an idiot, then how do I, like, quantify them? Yeah, you gotta have, like, idiot titles. I mean, you like this. We need, like, a title system. How big an idiot are we talking, you know? And I think in terms of idiots, you know, I dislike Esserman personally, but it's not, you know, it's not a game changer. I don't, like, hate him, you know? I don't detest him. I don't really like him. He's just kind of cringy, you know? Esserman is cringy, and he's awkward, and he's arrogant and insecure, and I don't really like him, but, you know, I wouldn't, like, you know, kick him if he was lying next to the sidewalk on the street or something, like homeless or something. I like him better than some people. I like him better than Hans. I like him better than, you know, Gotham Chess or something. He has his qualities. He's devoted. he's devoted in a sort of sincere, weird way. But I personally don't like him. I wouldn't want to be his buddy, you know. I wouldn't want to hang out with Esserman. Go to the pub with him. Well, no, I mean, to be fair, Bangtown, California, to be fair, I can say the same thing. Mark has always been very nice to me. But, you know, I'm not sure I like other things about him. But anyway, I'm not here to... So I'm not, my opinion about Esserman isn't based on how he treats me, you know. My opinion about him is based on him in general. More complex factors. But, you know, as a human being, okay, he's not so bad. And then, okay, there are some personal things, like he fucked over a tournament that I was supposed to play in. You know, I don't like certain things he's done. I don't dislike him just for the way, you know, he acts and looks on stream and stuff. I mean, this is much older than that. But he was always nice to me, yeah. And he's endearing to a lot of people. Is he actually acting on stream? Well, many people have mental disorders. And what does that mean exactly, right? No, I think, you know, I haven't watched him that closely lately. I'm sure that he has some kind of mental issues, but most people do, so. I don't think he's acting. There is some, you know, okay, I think some of his behaviors are exaggerating on purpose. He exaggerates stuff on purpose. No, I think there's some things that he's really crazy. He has mental illness and embellishment as well. You know. But mental illness, it's relative. I have mental illnesses. Everybody has some kind of mental illnesses. Most people do. If you don't, then you're not human. Donald Trump has narcissistic personality disorder, which is a diagnosable condition in a DSM-4. If you don't think that Donald Trump is crazy, well, narcissistic personality disorder is a diagnosable condition. All right. Knight takes c4. This is the plan. Well, it seems like now it's trendy to have autism. But it gets to the point where it's kind of hard to define what it is exactly. It's a scale, right? I don't know. All right. Kraken, that was cool. How are we doing on time? We're good. Analysis board. Thank you, Ali. This is in my opinion, a very good way to play against the London, the Jabava London. I told you guys I walked by Yabava. I know it's Yobava, but I walked by Yabava on the street on the way to work 2 weeks ago. On the way to, he was playing the Olympiad, and I wanted to like troll him on the street somehow, but I couldn't think of, like, he was outside with his Georgian friends, like smoking or something. I couldn't think of, like, how to troll him. I wanted to go up to him and be like, "Hey, you're Bador Jubava. Wow, I'm a taxi driver. I love chess." I wanted to come up with some kind of crazy shit and fuck with him. But I would probably only do that if I was drunk. It seems like I like him. I don't know him, but I kind of like him because he seems like a likable personality. Although he's, speaking of mental illness, extremely unstable, right? But he seems like the kind of guy that'd be funny to joke with, but I couldn't think of something on the fly, so I just walked by. Anyway, yeah, I could have gone out and be like, what if I went up to him like, "Hey, I beat you the one game I played you on lichess. Do you remember?" Just some random guy comes up to you on the street and says that. How awkward would that be? The one game we played, I beat you. That would be awkward. No. But my idea here is A6, and this is perfect. This is Kraken Invitation with black. The Kraken Invitation with black. So the Jabava London player now playing the Kraken, and they don't know it. They think they're playing Jabava London, but they're playing the Kraken. They're in my wheelhouse now. So if we go to Masters Database, yeah. Uh-oh! Prepare for the World Senior, Mr. Coffee. Rosenthalis is playing the Kraken. Look at that. Rosenthalis playing the Kraken. August 2024. And I was telling you guys, he's playing in the World Senior. So we'll be careful who we play the Kraken against at the World Senior. But this is what I talked about yesterday in my stream title. Grandmasters secretly watch my streams. And here you have another example. So you're telling me it's just a coincidence that Eduardas Rosenthalis just happened to play the Kraken in August 2024 after I've been promoting it on my stream. We've never seen a Rosenthalis game in Kraken before. Coincidence? No. Rosenthalis played e6. See? Some guy played g6. That's a Pierz. And it's probably a bad idea. Not the worst idea, but, So Rosenthalis did the right thing. And Merva, Merva is the Kraken man. He has a game with Zsolt Rigo, who's a Hungarian. I think. They could be Slovakian. So there's this Slovakian minority and a Hungarian minority in Slovakia, and sometimes there's guys with the same name, and I'm never sure if they're a Slovakian Hungarian or it's one from the Hungary. So G4 the dude played. Wow, that's like a Shirov style. This is for Uber driver. Merva loves to sacrifice his e-pawn. But I'm not sure this is the right idea. Maybe we should just play like h6 or something. Interesting. Wow. This g4. So if you play this against Jabava, this is the kind of move you're going to encounter. I think. It's likely to be like g4. That's a very Jabava-like move. Dangerous. So white played routinely knight f3. So now bishop f4 doesn't fit in that well. b5 best move, and I'm concerned about e5 right away. I was considering whether or not to play b4. So this is a huge mistake. I have to take first. Okay. Interesting stuff. Anyway, do we have time for one more challenge? Christoph. Christoph had no games. Oh no, he does. He does have games. Okay. And Kelmax. Oh, we have 2. Okay. Alright, last 2. Well, now that we're talking about crack games, you know, if I had to have a dynamic position for $1 million or imbalanced position, I might consider bishop g4, but it's not a very good line. Oh, thank you for not playing the London system. Not technically a London system. Better than the London system, but still. It still leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Roman used to play this all the time. This is one of his favorite setups. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can do. I'll go into a double-bellied King's Indian. It's a poly-Indian. Poly-Indian. Both Indians. The more Indians, the better. Bishop g5 is not recommended after c4. Correct. e5. Take. Uh-huh. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is polarizing material. Yeah, this doesn't win a piece. So, no, I have to take. e5 may have been unsound. He doesn't even consider taking it. This is critical, you know, knight takes. So he's a safe player. Bishop g5, and now you're on your own. That's the famous. Fine. What am I gonna do? He has the e4 square. So if I play knight takes, how much compensation do I have? Just asking for a friend. Well, exactly. What I'm not interested in is him stabilizing control of e4 and being better because he has white square domination. I wanted to sack this pawn already. See, now he's afraid to go into the scary, complicated variation, but he probably should have. You have a choice between a dark alley and a bad place. Now black is better. Was this? This was a normal. Well, he didn't play the London though. You know. Remember. He didn't play the London. This is not the same. White played c4. It's better than the London. But he did. You know, he shied away from the critical continuations involving complicated variations where he has to take a pawn. But you gotta be brave, right? Retract criticism? Well, not entirely. You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to retract. Just saying. It's possible there's a lot of carryover. You know, that's recommended by people like John Watson, for example, who talks about how to play the King's Indian against the London. You know, Watson, this is the first one. He's the King's Indian expert. He says, look, White should play c4. If they have the option to do that, they should. So it could have started as a London. Now, with a symmetrical open file, it's hard for me to attack. I always love when this bishop is blocked by the pawn on e4. It reminds me of this game from one of my favorite... Uh-oh. That's not good. Shit. Signal the alarm. Shit. That sucks. I totally missed bishop a4. Damn, bro. I guess I should have played c6. I am screwed now. b5 is bad. Yeah, I gotta go back. That sucks. Wow. I retract my advantage. The retractors. Christoph has played afraid, but he's probing. Not afraid to probe with bishop a4. That was a close one. Now what do I do? Well, I don't think we have a choice. He should have gone into c6. He hesitated again. It's like my first opening, really. That's why I like the double fianchetto, Queen's Indian. Playing the ready all those years ago. Reti. Little did I know I'd end up living in Hungary, speaking Hungarian. After playing the Reti card. And now, Lakedovic. Is b4 a problem? Might be. I'll worry about that when it comes time. Yeah, I don't think b4 is that great, so your turn. His knight is implanted. An IUD. All right. Your turn. Guys, we'll take one more challenge. I thought. How much time do I have here? 2 more challenges? Not busy? I gotta go soon. Saxac Draw is subscribed. Tier 1, nice. Just don't talk about the war. I feel like a lot of people must be going back to Faulty Towers. Alright. No, sports stars are not allowed to talk about. Oh, nice tactic. Pulling that tactic out of your butt. That doesn't work, though. Okay, is he going to play Queen G3? Oh, nice. Nice. Nice move. And it's still not enough. Still not enough. Is it? What am I going to do here? I gotta be careful. This guy's pretty cagey. Oof. I gotta be careful here. This is not good. He's making that passed pawn work by a thread. Queen G4 idea, Queen G3. I missed it. You know, I thought he's just trying to take the pawn on G6. That's pretty subtle. Going after the blockader. And I'm groggy and I'm likely to make a mistake. Wow. Wow. So takes. We're not going to do the shining again. After yesterday. Oh no. Wendy? You're not going anywhere. You gotta give this guy credit for offering a draw, though. That takes some serious cojones. No. Great stamina. That's what Millennia says. Just don't tell Donald. Well, my stamina is down. You know, stamina is way down with the frickin' COVID or whatever I have. Not a joke. Stamina is in short supply these days. Damn, this guy is cagey though, isn't he? For 2098. Cagey. And 1900's offering draws. I love me a good draw. Look, I admit, like, I'm as much a sucker for a draw as most title players. But I really don't do the draws in Blitz much. I mean, I love draws in classical games. But in Blitz, I'm kind of like trained. Q low T, yeah. Q low T commercial. I know what it's at, man. I have the low T. I was complaining about that recently. In all seriousness, it's not cool. But it's like a consequence of this medication that I take. I should ask my doctor. That's my sponsor, dude. My target audience. Saxac Draw. What's the blue pill? That's my target audience. Are there doctors? Oh, there are. And they like money too, just like all doctors. What am I doing here? This guy's awfully good for his rating. Now he's going too far. No, man. What? What? Unbelievable. Who do you think you are? Playing G4, you're 2098. He's 1908 in Bullet, 1980 in Blitz, 2098 in Rapid. I love this guy. He offered a draw. And now F3, the full Monty. What a player, dude. This is unbelievable. He's faster than me, he's offering draws. Defends like God. This is unbelievable. Oh no. Oh, I have a bad feeling about that. That's an awkward move to play by me. Jesus. Okay. Whoa. Are you serious? The timing? And you offered another draw now? I'm like lost. What's this guy's deal, dude? Wow. He really wanted a draw. He's winning in the final position, offered a draw. Jesus Christ, I made 4 blunders. Everything was going to plan, you know, until the end, when it wasn't. But he kept finding these aggressive moves that most players his rating level wouldn't find, you know. The guy that was like fearful, now he's playing like H3, G4. Suddenly I'm worse. Wow. Yeah, so White ended up with 6 inaccuracies, no mistakes, 1 blunder, with 89% accuracy. And I had 4 inaccuracies, 4 blunders. 4 blunders. So I missed 2 very strong moves when I was better. And I blundered twice at the end. And he offered a draw. Final position, I'm totally lost. I'm going to have to sack my rook. I missed how strong d6 was, but more importantly, here. I thought he would go for maybe 97 right away. And I didn't see that my bishop is protected by my rook, or I would have played king f7. That's a very weird game. Very weird game, you know. What's weird about it is The inconsistency, you know. Both of us. I played really well and really badly, and he played really well and really badly in the same game. I'm trying to learn how to play the Italian game, but I never really did. And so this is new. He really wanted a draw. And I normally don't take draws in Blitz. But if I'm lost, I'll take the draw. That happened with Mamajarov at the Olympiad. I think he managed to draw a lost position. Well, maybe it wasn't the same. So d5. Wow. d5 is a sharp move. But you're not supposed to do that. Leiko has been trying to figure out all of T. Well, I have issue with the blood pressure being a little high, and my adrenaline could sometimes go too up, and so I take a type of medication to kind of like control my adrenaline from not going too high, but has a side effect of lowering like testosterone. I feel like I can take the pawn on e5. No. There's also bishop b5. I don't know. This move knight b6. Here. See, I'm trying to reinvent the wheel. Bishop b5. Yeah, well, I always had like trouble. I always had trouble, you know, with my adrenaline getting too pumped up, and I would get like super adrenaline up like during my Blitz games and stuff. Wife. Just one? What is this error 404? What is this nonsense? Wife, singular? Wife is life. My wife is chess, dude. Chess is my wife. Anyway. Cute Uber driver John Curto reference. So, I mean, having high adrenaline is not good, and having like low adrenaline is not good either, obviously. Are there doctors hungry? They're raising their prices all the time too. Error 404 not sound. I had to like fire my cardiologist. He was basically just, I don't need a cardiologist. He's just like, wants me to go on forever, like paying him when I don't even really need a cardiologist. So doctors are mostly scammers. Do we have doctors? Oh yeah. And I'm gonna get me I'm gonna have to start raising my prices because of my doctor. The Hungarian doctors keep raising their prices. I have to pass on the losses to the consumers. Is black better? What, are you kidding me? Maybe if I take on c6 like an idiot. You better be joking. Is black better? Shit. If that's a conversation here, then I must have done something wrong. Is that seriously... If somebody's thinking that black might be better, maybe I need to have a talk with myself. Wow. Man, I'm having some radical ideas now. I really need to get help. No, black's not better. The question is white better? I don't agree. I'm not worse. But you are entitled to your own opinion, sire. And now... Uh-huh. After d4, pawn takes d4, knight takes d4. Or maybe pawn takes d4. It can't be worse after d4. The question is, again, is it possible I'm better? This guy saves time by not thinking. It's a very good strategy. Save time, don't think. You still hold to your position that black is better? I will only say that this player, we're going to ignore his bullet rating. He's pretty darn good. Yeah. Now I'm playing like Botvinnik or something. Wow. God damn it. Wow. Rook b8. Not only is this guy strong, but he's faster than me too. Jesus Christ, do every single move instantaneously. He's not a computer, is he? He's 1500 in bullet. That's a bit disturbing. No, he's 1800. Little too good, little too fast for this rating, but okay. He might eventually make an inaccuracy. Strangely using time now. Well, he's Indian, so he's 500 points underrated. I mean, if his FIDE rating was 1876, I would believe it. But Blitz rating on lichess seems a bit much. Rook b5. Jesus Christ. I mean, you're faster than me, better than me, 1500 in bullet, 1800, 1800, 1800. This game's going to come out with a really low inaccuracy percentage for black. You know that. I mean, who does maneuvers like rook b5, rook d5 at that rating level? I'm trying to find his weakness, but I don't... What? We found it. Oh my god. He had to play... We found his weakness. Holy shit. Like, simple tactic. Strategically, he was like 2200. And outplayed me. He might have even been better. But he forgot that, like, my rook's defended. Or he thought this was okay. Jesus. I have 3 challenges now. Dieter Adler. Dinekis and Nefedov. Wow. Lucky I have a lesson cancellation today. Luckydov. Is King G3 really a good move? Give up. I don't like his time use either. He missed E3 there, which should hold easily. Okay, his king needs to get in the center. But he had E3. Yeah, this player is what I see a lot of, these very inconsistent players. I don't even know how can be the same person, you know, playing the same game. But that's what happens when you learn chess randomly on the internet, I guess. Now I'm threatening King E4. No, we're better. Oh no. Night jail. Huh? I see. So how do I do this? Mm-hmm. Oh my god. What am I doing? Oh, that's what I'm doing. I didn't even know what I'm doing. I'm threatening something. Wow. I didn't know I was threatening anything. Apparently he's threatening something too. Ooh, it took me down to a knight endgame to take this guy out. The rook pawns are tricky. Wow. $1,800. That's... This is what I have to do to beat an 1800. He had 90% accuracy. And he was fine until finally when he cracked on move 27. So there was a moment where I was worse. When he executed that rook maneuver. Rook b5. Just watch the sequence, okay? By the way, rook e4 is a top move. Rook a b8, engine number 1 move. I had to make a tough decision. I went back. Knight f4, engine number 1 move. Rook d2, rook f d8, engine number 1 move. Rook a d1. And now the big one. I don't want to see rook b5 on the board here. Yeah, I expected something like c5. And he has a Bafinic bind on my position, but the bad isolated pawns, it's balanced. But this move I thought was really... That move, I mean, come on. That's a really creative move. 1800. King h2 was probably a mistake. And then he miscalculated. And this is like his only mistake in the game. Major mistake. And he's still okay. He didn't centralize his king. But he misses this, e3. So I thought after this and this, that would be okay. But apparently, he's still playing without his king. So he's still worse. Anyway, when Bangtown was talking about it, we were back... Where were we? Here. Now, you said that you thought black is better. And I knew that I wasn't worse. But I won't say that I knew I was better. At this point, I wasn't sure if it's equal or if I might be a little better. I wanted to be better. We have a little pull here. But you know what didn't occur to me? Playing bishop e3 without doubling the pawns first. Wow. So if I don't double his pawns first, his knight is just kind of sitting there, you know. But I would think he'd be pretty solid on knight e7. He's still pretty solid here. Yeah. But I mean, I'm shocked, you know. By the way, thanks for following Good Enzo and Neutrino Wombat. You know, you can't help but be surprised how 1800 player can go till move 27 without making a serious mistake. But you guys understand why white. You understand why white is a little bit better there, right? It should go without saying. Because no, I mean well, no, I don't have much after the damage structure. The computer doesn't want to take on c6. It's interesting. Well, finally, after I exchange on c6, I don't have much. But the point is that I have a white square bishop, and that's why I'm better. Well, it's my bishop, you know. What's this variation? Wait, where did his white square bishop go? How did that happen? Yeah, I mean, I've been playing through a lot of Nesbedinov games. But not only Nesbedinov. Before that, I was studying Geller's games. Dude, are you related to the other player? My God. He offers a draw. Are you really? This is not even close to the other game. You're clearly worse. Like, almost strategically lost here. And you're offering a draw. So if you want to learn more, you should watch my stream more often. This position is terrible for black. It would be a miracle if black can hold a draw here. The Riz. What do you mean? The Riz is an I am. James Rizitano. Now that's not a household name. You know, there's not a lot of Italian-American IMs running around. James came back at one point and started playing again after a very long layoff. And I never played Jim. My opponent is like the poster child for what's wrong with online chess. He's a kid, obviously. I'm a kid, that's my job. Why don't I go here? No, that was Uncle Buck. Yeah, you remember. Oh man, you gotta miss John Candy. Yeah, I always trick myself into thinking that was like Home Alone. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because it's Macaulay Culkin, but yeah, Uncle Buck. I do that a lot. I mistakenly like reference that movie as being Home Alone. I mean that phrase as being from Home Alone. Jesus Christ, dude. Is this guy the same opponent I just played or something? But he's not. Alright. He's gonna make me pay for declining that draw offer. I thought I might have C4. Doesn't work. Wow. So he's practically like back in the game now. Bishop A6 is really good. That's funny, man. That's funny. But what's disturbing about this player is his time use. And you have no respect for your opponent. Like, I'm an IM. You offer me a draw, you use no time. People are spoiled. I saw a picture online yesterday of Dan Aykroyd. It was Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. They did some movie I never saw. Do you remember that? Some stupid comedy. Imagine that. The Great Outdoors. Okay. I never watched that. But any kind of John Candy must be watched. Yeah, I missed that. I was busy at the time when that came out, apparently. I was probably busy, like, studying economics or something. This guy has a problem. He has a problem with using his time and playing proper chess. Oh no. Oh no. 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 What's the point of G4? When did I play G4? Yeah, a lot of points, really. That's a good question. It's a multi-purpose move. It blocks his play on the G file, although that's already the case with G3. Puts my pawn on the right color. The guy's, he's collapsing now. Which is stronger, a bishop or knight? I don't remember. Do you guys remember? I lost my Parker Brothers chess set. Oh no, it says 3 and 3 there. See, if you put your pawns on dark squares, they block your bishop. So I want to put my pawns... 5 out of 6 moms recommend putting your pawns on light squares so that your bishop can, you know, be excommunicated. Alright, so even after trading his bad bishop on a6, he still doesn't equalize. By the way. I was a little nervous that he's equalized with bishop a6. But we'll see another. Oh wow, he did. He did. I have screwedeth uppeth. I mean, the idea of G4 isn't bad. So G4 isn't bad because of G4. It's against knight f5 as well. G4 isn't bad because of G4. It's bad because of the timing of it. Apparently I had a better move. Rook d4. This I didn't see, and you see great mobility here. Primarily the idea of going rook h4. Well, if I don't have rook d4, then what do I play? Then I play a4, fixing his pawn on a5. a4 would have been better than g4. g4 is not a bad move, but it wasn't necessary at that time. It also discourages h5, although he might be able to play it anyway. There's a lot of reasons for g4. Like, one of his best moves here is h5. This is a routine move, obviously. Yeah. It's not g4 question mark because g4 itself is that bad. It's just, I should have done something else. Yeah. Another, pretty good game to a point by the opponent. Last game, guys, I gotta go. What happened to Nefedov? Nefedov's off watching The Great Outdoors with John Candy. We gave him a great idea. Well, a4 was more appropriate at that moment. Oh, Dinekis has a challenge out. So Kraken. But my opponent, he's an online chess noob. Off-frame draws. This is another. I don't know what's wrong with people. Why do they insist on playing this? Why don't you play knight c3? Alright, variation B. We're going with system B. Magnus has played this. But Magnus, after knight f3, I played a game the other day with knight b4, and Magnus wouldn't pull the trigger. Magnus played something else when he got this position. Now c3 is normal. And now we must. And this is basically a standard structure. A double king pawn. If pawn takes pawn, what do I do? Take with the knight, probably? Not with the pawn. Soft is an interesting adjective, friend. That wouldn't be the word I would choose. I would choose unambitious. Soft makes it sound like soft. I know what you mean, like it's not aggressive, but it's actually quite solid. Yes, take with the pawns. I mean, I think in this position I should take with the knight. His bishop's on d3. If I take with the pawn, that's possible too. It's a judgment call. I'll have to think about it if it comes to that. But white's best move is like knight f3, anyway. Well, d5 or knight f3. You see a lot of d5. But he's a tempo down, having to follow up with c4. I had this position in the Hungarian Team Championship with white last year against some FM from Ukraine. Hungarian FM from Ukraine. Hungarian Ukrainian. And I drew. I didn't get anything against him. He just played like bishop e7. It's like yeah, I don't know what it is. It's kind of solid for both sides. I can play bishop g4. It's like provocative. I can play g6. And that's what I would normally do. And then a6, it becomes a kraken. I've had that position before. It stops b5, but is a6 really necessary here? I've lost to Schieberspieler with this position with black, playing a modern defense move order. e4, g6, d4, bishop g7. So it transposes to that. e4, g6, d4, bishop g7, c3. Soft is not the word. It's hard, but it's not coming at you. It's just sort of sitting there. Like, come and get me. Or it's coming at you slowly. Now it almost feels like a Roy Lopez or something. I have the possibility to play d5, which I did against GM Grover, Super Grover. When I played Super Grover early this year and lost, it was an accelerated Kraken. That's how it happened. I am not afraid. I am Super Grover. So, alright, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Rook e8. Knight c3. And what did I accomplish there but giving up my center? So no, thank you. My only other option is to defend the pawn. I'm not in love with this. King h7. Some people will do that like without a second thought, but it's a little artificial. But then again, so is queen d2. Because now, you know, he has no place for his knight, and knight has to go to a3. It's another reason not to play pawn takes pawn. If I play pawn takes pawn, you know, he likes that because he'll have a good square for his knight on c3. I need a really good reason to give up the center here. An Uber driver would agree. King h7, lame, but perhaps necessary. Now we have 3 challenges. See, this is what I was afraid of, but you know, that's silly. This is an extremely dangerous move for white. Now, he's going a little too far. My h6 pawn is defended. The time has come, my friend. The time has come. Grover, Super Grover. Well, anyway, it's a classic Roy Lopez counterattack where you can time this maximum pawn cube, maximum tension. The central pawn cube. I love when that happens. That's epic, right? You get the epic central pawn cube. Bring on the pawn cube. Mutual of Omaha. Central pawn cube. But guess what? My king is castled and your king is in the center. Did I mention that? Did anybody tell him about that? Oh, sac-sac draw is like, what about d5 after queen d2? Well, no, it was considered, but my h6 pawn is hanging. So yeah. Yeah, you're of course understanding. g4 is a very, very suspicious move. I called him Dieter. But that's weird, right? Isn't it Dieter? That's a standard German name? But isn't it with EI? So he's like Dieter. No, I guess it is IE. It looks like Dieter. I'm such an idiot. Laughing at myself, not at you. I'm an idiot. I called him Dieter. But I really thought it was DEI. Dieter. No? Dieter. There was a famous game Fischer had with a German player named Dieter. They had a photo at the Boylston Chess Club. Fischer versus Dieter, somebody. Olympiad game. USA versus Germany. Gudenzo. Oh. Italian like. Bishop c4, f5, d4. You give your knight a forward to safe square. Yeah, I guess you could say that. same break, right? But there is a complicating factor here. He has pawn takes h6, which I initially missed. Some mistakes were made in the mistakes, as they say, have been made in the calculation of this line. And this move was, and that's what we commonly do as humans. Depth of calculation is overrated. It's more important to have good horizontal calculation and not miss moves like g takes h, which I missed. You know, so this is now, oh shit. Okay, g takes h, pawn takes f3, pawn takes g7. And maybe I'm still winning there, but I don't really like a pawn on g7, particularly. I don't know if I have a choice. I could take on h6, and I also don't like losing the exchange on f8. There's also pawn takes e3. Sorry, pawn takes d4, but then pawn takes g7. Pawn takes e3. Pawn d4, pawn g7, pawn e3. Pawn d4, pawn g7. And then you got to calculate things like queen g5, knight g5 check. Surprise! That's not good. Knight g5 is a problem. So I need to keep it simple here. Bishop takes h6? No. Alright, we'll take this. Let's take this, play our first variation, which was like, what, rook e8 or something? I could take and sack the exchange. What's wrong with rook e8? What's wrong with it is that I didn't really analyze this at all. So I'm going into some kind of cave that I've never explored before. Okay. Your king's still on e1. It's ops color bishops. Yeah, this is the last move I saw. And now we go here. I'm going to find a way to like checkmate myself. Well, ultimately White's development is no better than mine. Now he has c4. I'm afraid, you know, he's not better. The question is, who the hell is better here? Well, I can win the pawn. I don't like knight e4. That's a serious issue. So he's getting kind of cagey here. It's gotten a little out of control. Here's another classic. My days of playing the queen, the knight f6 Scandinavian are coming into play here. This is nothing compared to that. Don't worry, folks. Just, you might want to take that g7 pawn at some point. My God. Look at him go. Whoa. Check. Okay. So he turns out to be like a Blitz player. Oh my God. He took on g5, thank God. If he plays h6 there, I don't know what I'm going to do. h6, you mean? Oh, my f6. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, we got to what? you know, is a very typical kind of upscaler bishop situation. So, neat move. He is a very cagey character, this one. Brutal. Just won't stop. Damn it. Am I checkmated yet? Can I take on h5? Well, not a good idea. Benzene. The benzene is running low. He's a fighter. He's not feisty at all. That was a close one. Alright guys, we're getting low on time. Is Dinekis gone? No. Alright. This is gonna have to be last game. I think probably last game. That was you, Neutrino Wombat? North Carolina Dan. Well, I mean, this is my system that I'm really working on. What I call the Kraken. And so, a lot of people think it's stupid, but I do enjoy, you know, experimenting. And it's like a backup opening to throw in there against the random Estonian grandmom that I get paired with in the first round. But it helps me. I learned to understand chess, you know, through these things. Bishop, you can play knight g5. This is probably a little better for white. Space. No light square bishop. How about knight h3? No, d4's too weak. Where's Asterbate today? Yeah, sometimes knight g1 is played in similar vein. But he can't do like a King's Indian mating attack because he doesn't have a light square bishop. So the question is, what can I do? But Dinekis is... Oh, about provoking h6? Well, that's not so much the idea, but yeah, that could be profitable. h6 is also a constructive move, though. You know, it's hard to say. My inner... I'm strongly tempted to play g4, but I'm trying to talk myself out of it. I mean, it's obviously plausible. Should I put my king on h1 then? And what else can I do? You're going to play f5. He'll probably play f5 anyway if I do that. Yeah, I mean, g4 is not a really safe idea here. But what should I do? G4 is not safe. You don't say. We can do it. Dinekis plays too fast. I've lamented that for a long time. He's like an adult. He's a child trapped in an adult's body. He can't stop. He's like a Toys R Us kid, like Uber driver. Being a rebel. Wait. This is... What do you mean? This is my side. What's he talking about? I don't know about that. It's, for those who like to be checkmated, Banktown. Maybe. But if you prefer not being checkmated, you can play on the king side. But I mean, it's not a King's Indian, alright? Anymore. Well, yeah, exactly. No, that's true. You can still get mated, but it's a lot harder to get mated, yeah. No, I mean, I would play that way too. It's not that stupid. No. Fair enough. A4. But you know what opening this is, right? You guys. If I were to ask you what opening this is, what would you say? It's not a King's Indian. It's a... Well... It's more like a Roy Lopez, I guess. But I guess it is. It is still a King's Indian. I mean... it's both. Was a King's Indian. But I have this, you know. That's the obvious plan. He's going to force me to have to play on the queen side. Fine. Exchange sacrifice. Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. He has rook takes c3. If I play bishop e3, rook takes c3, b takes c3, knight takes c4. Been there, done that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright. Well, anyway. No need to play bishop e3. Not yet. If you insist on me playing on the queen side, fine. I'll play on the queen side. He wanted that move so bad, he just found it. Seriously, alright, last game. That one didn't count. That was too short. But I really gotta go. You play too fast, you know. Too much adrenaline. You should start taking beta blockers like me. Okay, now. I can go back into the modern with g6. Knight c6 is a kind of Nimzovich. My main move is usually e6 though. Mostly I play e6. We'll see what white does. We had a bishop f4 earlier, right? Bishop f4 transposes to London system. But that's a rare move in this instance. Nefedov's favorite move is a4. We call it the Nefedov variation. This is very common. And I had a tournament game last year with this b5, but b5 is dangerous. So I've been rethinking it, you know, and I'm not always going to play b5. This is safer. Knight c6 is the safest continuation. And that's why I like the Kraken, because it's a hybrid. You've got the modern, you've got the Nimzovich, and that's the point. So we're doing a backdoor tempo down into another one of these solid, whatever it is, Hungarian defense, or the point is the octopus on d3 sucks, you know, it sucks. I don't mind losing a tempo if you have a bishop on d3. Your bishop on d3 is dumb, you know. If your bishop's on c4, it's scary. If it's on e2, it's passive. On d3, it blocks your, you know, queen, and it's a pawn. That's how I can justify moving my e-pawn twice. This is also not just me. I mean, this is the engine's best move. I analyzed this position. Like, seriously. e5 is the best move. This has been checked, you know. This is safer than playing for b5, obviously. They're reliable. You know, and then you get this move, which is really wild. So he's sacrificing a pawn. Really? If pawn takes, knight d5, bishop e7. Knight takes e7, queen takes e7. And maybe white can get that pawn back somehow. So it's much safer for me to play this. I don't like bishop g5, but most people play it. But the problem with it is that it's not an effective pin. It's a very ineffective pin, since I can just play bishop e7, casting doubt on it. And that exchange of bishops is bad for white. That's my bad bishop. And you don't want to exchange bishop for bishop. And you don't want to exchange your bishop off at all. So bishop g5 is a bluff. Alright? It's like a positional bluff, effectively. Now I can't win a pawn with any tactics. I have to move my knight. So here I've gone astray before. Like, the problem is if I move knight b4, the knight can get trapped there, and I have to play like a5 to pull it out, extract it. Knight d4 looks dubious, though it might actually be decent. Knight d4, take. Knight moves, knight takes d5. Even knight takes e4. That's very Uber driver-esque. Like, knight d4 equalizes. Knight b4 is knight b8 is slow, though. And there's even knight a7, which Rapport does from time to time. Knight a7 with the idea of knight b5, undermining white's control of e4. How crazy is that, right? Did you ever think about that? Knight a7 with the idea of knight b5 to effectively undermine white's guard of e4. That's some perverse logic right there. This is the kind of stuff I think about in my spare time, right? Knight b4, going for the bishop. Knight d4 is the safest. I guess he could also get trapped, theoretically. But probably not. Alright, let's just do this. This is Uber driver approved. What's the downside of this move? The downside of the move is fill in the blank. The downside of this move is you get double pawns. No. The downside of this move is you give up the center. That's something that, you know, you're giving up your strong point, you should say, on e5, maybe. But I was going to say mainly it might lead to a bunch of exchanges, which is my problem with it, you know. I don't want it to lead to a whole shitload of exchanges. So take there, and your queen is trapped. This is one option. Well, I don't know if I have... Well, obviously I have bishop g4, but if I play bishop g4, he has bishop e2. Learning from experience. So now, the downside is losing the d-pawn. No, the downside is allowing a bunch of exchanges into a symmetrical position. Sac draw. No, I'm going to hit him with knight takes d5, and he's going to lose his own d-pawn. We'll end up in like a simplified ending. But the computer found something. Yeah, this doesn't look good enough for me. Damn. Yeah, I had a similar line. White came out of this okay. I have h5. He has f3. Oh no. Oh my god, no. No. He has f3. Oh no. Maybe I should just play bishop h5. Queen g7, rook g8. But this is too tempting. Having pawn on h4 is still advantageous. Might be. Unbelievable. I'm thinking of crazy things. f3. If it's f3, it's for me. He didn't play it. It would have been interesting. So, like, I can play bishop d7, queen g7, rook g8. Actually, bishop d7 is okay, but I'm not worried about queen g7. I'm worried about other stuff. So, interesting. Is there any sense in bishop h5? There is. Now, this guy is pretty tough, man. Good Enzo. Pretty tough. Renzo Mantovani. Yeah, this is a good battle. The white has more space. Black is going to the well, what am I gonna do? Take an f4 first. So battle, spatial. That's a good game. I mean, now I don't know. I think the computer would call this like equal, honestly. You have a situation where it's like a Mexican standoff. I mean, you have your space, I have my space. You stay in your zone and I stay in my zone. It's hard for both sides to break through. probably. It's hard to see how, either side is going to execute a pawn break. However, yeah. Queen f6. Bishop g6. Bishop g6. Wait. Alright, we gotta do something. Damn, he's like flagging me. What? Yeah, this is a true battle royale. Very complex, strategically. Nice. 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 Anybody's game. I was a little worried about that. Oh, I see. You're gonna do it that way. Wow. Draw. Whoa. He doesn't want to draw. He wants to win. Understandable. Alright, draw. He offered me a draw. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might be better now. It's a good game. That was a good game. I like that. That was fun. It's a very well played game by both sides, it looks like. Both sides with 92% accuracy. And final position is close to equal. Yeah, but I mean, it's a well played game. You played fine. This is a typical scenario where the computer doesn't like my move knight e5, but what does it want me to play? Like bishop f6? I mean, bishop g6 right away. Oh, I see. But I don't think it matters, really. Yeah, that was an interesting game, guys. I gotta go. Thanks for playing, and I'll see you on Sunday. I host a simul every Sunday. Thanks to the new followers. I host a simul every Sunday here on lichess. 6:30 CEST for now. Time change coming up, I guess. Not that long. Sac draw, you're welcome. Thank you guys for your support. We're up to 1606, so a little bit further to go. World Senior in 7 weeks. I'm all set with my plans, and I'm going to Portugal in the mid stage of November to play in the World Senior. So we're basically in World Senior warm-up territory now. Thanks for the games, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.